All right, y'all. This is live with Johnny. Johnny, how's everybody doing tonight? Yeah, we are in the building. Um, so yo, we just getting started with tonight's podcast. I want to thank everybody for tapping in. I really appreciate y'all. We talking from the top floor, so y'all already know what's going down. When you up at the top floor looking down, so that's what it is. Looking like we in New York, right here in Peoria. So y'all already know this is gonna be the new second podcast location. So it's going down major in a major way. So make sure y'all check out the new podcasts that are coming up here in the near future. It's gonna be so freaking dope. You hear me? And we are on YouTube, we are on Twitch, and we are on Facebook. So make sure y'all tap in to each and every podcast. Let me see. Let me do something real quick. All right, let's see. Somebody was asking the other day. They was like, "Well, why are you looking into the camera?" I guess because sometimes I have to read very little font, fine font, and I have to read that and control everything that goes on. So y'all got to give me a little space and just be patient a little bit. As I do these podcasts, like nobody is perfect. So let me say that, and I am always, always, always achieving to be better than I was the day before. So let's get that out there first and foremost. All right, that's what's up. So, but you can leave your comments and stuff like that. Definitely subscribe to my channel. Um, just lock in. You know what I'm saying? Leave your comments so we can get it popping. So that I would appreciate if y'all could do that. Lock in on my channel, subscribe, all of that good stuff. I got all the information right there for you. And if you want to leave if you want to leave a comment, you can definitely leave a comment as well. So, y'all, it's getting crazy. It is really getting crazy out here with MAGA. I'm just seeing so much stuff that just totally off key. They call them postmodern Republicans, and the reason why they say that, it's terms that I had to learn, and you guys need to learn these terms too because it's actually happening. This type of stuff is actually happening, and these are not terms like I pulled out of the thin air. These are like terms that the people are using. So in order for you to understand what's going on, you have to know the terms and be familiar with it. But basically, what it means is that they just basically make up things and go along with that, no matter if it's true or not. And I've seen this like in elections, like as growing up, I've always seen Republicans like I don't want to say cheat like this. It is a form of cheating because you're spreading false narratives about somebody. You're making somebody out to be somebody that they're not. You're telling lies on somebody in order to try to win the presidency or whatever race you're trying to win. It's a very, very, very foul situation to be in when you're running for politicians. You're trying to help people, and then you have other people lying on you and stuff like that. So that's exactly what happened on CNN. And I want y'all to check this out, man. This is crazy, man. We got to start calling people out for what it is.
So at this point, y'all, I genuinely don't understand what CNN is doing, who it's for, because, when you turn on Fox News, you know what you're getting. You're getting state regime propaganda. You're getting MAGA propaganda, Republican propaganda pumped directly into your bloodstream. You're getting boomer poison that has brainwashed, your dad or your grandfather. Like, that's what you're getting. And there is no counterweight to that. That it's not like MS Now is not like the left-wing version of Fox News. They're not like an extremist outlet that's doing propaganda. No, they just do they're like a center-left outlet. That's it, right? And then you have like CNN, for example. And what is CNN? CNN is a false equivalence factory. It's a both sides factory. And they've convinced themselves like, oh no, we need to have Republican voices in the room because if we don't, it's not fair. Really? Well, Fox News has like 90% right-wing hacks, and the 10% Democrats they bring on, minus Jessica Tarlov, who does a decent job, but all the rest of them are just like, they're there to play the heel and get railroaded, right? And so Like, you don't need to do this. You don't need to do this. You don't need to say, hey, for balance's sake, we need absolute depraved liars to be in the room. You don't have to do that. You could actually just go out there and do your job and give people news and information and educate them and tell them this thing called the truth. You could just do that. But they don't want to. They don't want to. Especially now that, Trump's billionaire buddy, the Ellisons, the Ellisons have taken over CBS News. They've taken over TikTok. They're trying to take over CNN. Now CNN and Tap Jaker, for example, they know like, oh shit, Barry Weiss is going to have control here. So now they're trying to go even further right and further right. It's humiliating. And, all the good media outlets are non-existent now. Like, you get some decent ones in online media and independent media, but like they are very few and far between. Well, anyway, that's a long-winded way of me saying, here's a MAGA person on this panel who shouldn't even fucking be on this panel because they're a disgusting liar. And thankfully, they get immediately called on their shit by Isaiah Martin and by Abby Phillips. So shout out to them. Isaiah Martin does a great job here. Abby Phillips does a great job here. But again, I repeat myself, this MAGA hack has no business being on this panel and shouldn't be on this panel. They're a professional liar. That's what they are. Here we go.
I think that's maybe why they're so reluctant to disavow some of these really extreme radical policies, like getting rid of prisons and opening the borders again, as we saw under Biden.
This is the thing.
So look, Zoran Mamdani, you mentioned Zoran Mamdani earlier, and you said, great, can I talk for a second? So Zoran Mamdani, who you want to be part of this Democratic Party, who Chuck Schumer, Barack Obama, everyone has seemed to embrace, he watched the World Cup at Rikers. He wants to get rid of prisons. He wants to abolish private property.
He wants to abolish private property? Mamdani wants to get rid of prisons and abolish private property. Made it up. Totally made it up. But she's about to get called on that shit immediately to her face.
Chuck Schumer, Barack Obama, everyone has seemed to embrace. He watched the World Cup at Rikers. He wants to get rid of prisons. He wants to abolish private property. This is literally the most radical.
When did he ever say that, Lydia?
He wants government-run
Rikers. You just lied.
I did not lie. Can I speak for 2 seconds? I'm not here to answer to you. Okay,
you just made the claim.
Can I speak for 2 seconds?
When did he ever say he wanted to get rid of prisons? You made a direct claim.
That's part of his platform.
When did he ever say that?
That's literally part of his platform.
When did he say that?
He's part of the DSA.
Oh, see what she did there? He said it to, it's part of his platform too. Okay, well, actually, it's part of the DSA platform, and he's part of DSA. They have nothing on us, and they have to reach so hard to get anything they could even try to muster up an attack with. Notice how the goalpost shifted like that. They shifted like that. He wants to get rid of private property, made up, and he wants to abolish all prisons, made up. Totally made up. Totally made up. And thank God Isaiah Martin called her on this. Thank God. Am I allowed to speak? Not if you're going to fucking lie with every single breath you take. No, then you actually shouldn't be allowed to speak. Because this is not like you have a responsibility being on CNN, which is supposed to be a news network. You have a responsibility to tell the truth. Because if you're not doing your job. You're a liar. You're a propagandist. You're misleading people. And you're full of shit. And you shouldn't have this extreme power of being on this network.
When did he ever say he wanted to get rid of prisons? You made a direct claim.
That's part of his platform.
When did he ever say that?
That's literally part of his platform.
When did he say that?
He's part of the DSA. I can point you to the website after. I'm happy to show you that.
One time you just lied on air.
Oh my Lord. Okay. I'm happy to point you to the website.
It's just a simple question. Has he actually said that?
That's literally part of his platform.
Where?
On his website.
Was that on his
He wants government-run grocery stores. This is literally.
What did he say about getting rid of prisons?
My point is that you have a candidate like Zoran Mamdani who is incredibly radical. The Democratic Party is thrilled to embrace because, the alternative is.
Just lied.
Well, okay, let's.
Oh my Lord! Can you stop interrupting?
Can you stop and just let me get away with shamelessly lying? Why won't you just let me get away with smearing and lying and tarnishing? Why don't you just let me do that? This is what we do. This is sort of our thing as Republicans. This is what we're known for. I mean, if we're not allowed to lie, we can't say anything. Yeah, interesting. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that, quite an admission right there? I think it is kind of quite an admission.
For like 3 seconds. The point is, this is the new mantle bearer. This is why they were thrilled to embrace Graham Plattner, despite the fact that he had a Nazi tattoo. There is no energy apart from these people. And the more conventional Democrats, like Chuck Schumer, are scared to stand up and call out any of these radical extremist policies.
Chuck Schumer endorsed against Zoran Mamdani did launch his government. He didn't endorse Grand Platinum. Run grocery stores.
The reason why she's saying insane stuff like he wants to get rid of all private property and he wants to abolish all prisons, the reason why she's doing that is because she can't actually engage with what this man has actually done. What he's actually done is overseen a massive historic decrease in the crime. What he's actually done is crack down on shitty landlords. What he's actually done is ordered a deep cleaning of the subway. What he's actually done is got Hochul on board for universal childcare, which they're delivering. What he's actually done is frozen the rent for, I believe it's a 2-year period. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. I think he was able to do it for a 2-year period. What he's actually done is filled a record number of potholes. What he's actually done is taxed the rich. Literally everything I just mentioned there polls at an overwhelming majority of people supporting it and liking it. His approval rating has gone up since he took power. Most politicians, it goes down. With him, it went up. Why? Because he's showing, I will actually fight for you and actually deliver. And when I'm mayor, I actually do have power, and I'm going to use it. I'm not going to do nothing or do the wrong things and then say, like, oh, what did you want me to do? I didn't have the ability to. I tried, but nothing could have been done. He doesn't do that. He actually delivers. And since he's delivering, since people love him, they're panicked, and what they have to do is revert to just lying and smearing and tarnishing and making shit up. And by the way, just understand, this is their playbook going forward. Their playbook is going to be, go to the DSA policy platform, pick the thing